In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips so you can stop your divorce or get your ex back after a breakup. If you're going through a divorce or breakup, or if you see it coming before you do anything else, read my book. The link is in the description. You're gonna learn a lot of things that help you stop your breakup and divorce. And if it's already happened, you will reverse it. The first thing when I work with guys, I notice there is one common thread. Guys who lose a girl and never get her back is because they don't know what to do. They're lost. They don't have a plan. Dude, you must know the direction you're on. You must know where you're going. When she comes to you and she brings some problems, which is always the case in every relationship, there's going to be some good times and some turbulence. Some good times, some turbulence. At one point, she's going to get frustrated with you to a point that she doesn't believe you can change anymore. And that's where her tests amplify. Now, what do you mean by tests? By tests, it could be anything from, hey, I don't want to see you today, all the way to, hey, I want to divorce you. These are little things to see if she can get you to react. If you fail this test, then she starts to amplify to the point that she might even say, listen, I don't want to be with you anymore. And she's not kidding. She actually means it. She believes that. Every relationship you look at one point, they get to the breakup point. If you avoid the frictions, if you avoid to go through them, then the breakup becomes permanent. So your job as a man is to have the skills to navigate through these friction points. And then she tests you, you're going to feel a lot of emotions, a lot of intense emotions. When she said it's over, it's actually over to her. And she doesn't want to be in that relationship anymore. And what you do from this point forward, it actually determines what happens later, because two people have different opinions, and that's just normal. Now, let me tell you how you can pass these tests. When you hear the news, for example, she says, listen, I'm moving out. You hear the news, you immediately feel something, and you just respond to that. For example, she says, listen, I don't think it's a good idea we stay together. What do most guys do? What do you want to do naturally? You want to say, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Then you start to resist it. Then you start to fight for it. And the more you fight, the worse it gets. So what you need to do, you need to get to the point emotionally so you can extend the time between when you hear the news and when you react in it. And the longer this is, the more relaxed you can be and the better response you will get from her. Now, when she comes to you with this news, most guys think it's over. She decided she wants to move out, then there's no chance. Guys freak out immediately because that's all they see. Hey, she just told me she wants to break up, that's it. She doesn't want to be with me anymore again. And he goes and starts to do self-destruct and do all of these things that get attention from her, and his situation gets worse and worse and worse. Women treat it like a game without even realizing. That's why a lot of relationships fall apart, because guys take it so seriously. But if you want to win, if you want to get her back, you don't look at it as a short-term thing. Sometimes there are gaps, and what you do during these gaps determines what happens after. Now, you might not have the emotional control like most guys. Maybe you're not trained for this. Maybe you're so busy with your work. Maybe you're doing everything else, so you don't have enough attention and you don't have enough practice to be non-reactive. But either way, you have to understand and you have to learn and you have to implement this technique to your relationship. Now, you might be in the turbulence already. Maybe she's already told you she doesn't want to be with you. Maybe you're already freaked out. It doesn't matter, because the next one's just around the corner. Her next test is just around the corner. It doesn't matter what stage you're in. And that's one of the first things that I work with you in the program. If you haven't already, make sure you read my book. The link is in the description. I'll show you exactly how to go through these tests. If you're going through a divorce or breakup, or if you see it coming before you do anything else, read my book. The link is in the description. You're gonna learn a lot of things that help you stop your breakup and divorce. And if it's already happened, you will reverse it. The next thing that you need to fix if you want to get your ex back, or if you want to stop your divorce, is that your codependency. Dude, you are codependent with this woman. That's why things fell apart. You need to cut yourself and all dependencies from this woman. Any emotional dependency you have with this woman, you have to cut. Because what happens to most guys, they become this version of themselves that cannot function without this woman. That is something very serious that you need to fix, and you either fix it now or you will forever suffer if you don't fix this. In my book, I show you how to do it step by step. Make sure you read it. The link is in the description. So regardless of what your situation is with her right now, even if she's filed for divorce and she's moved out, read my book so you can work on the codependency. And the thing is, most guys who are codependent, they don't know they're codependent, because it's something that happens gradually. Slowly. You have bad behaviors in the relationship, and she kind of feeds you. She kind of takes care of you, and she kind of encourages you to be like that. Suddenly she pulls back, and you wake up one day, you realize you cannot be on your own anymore. It happens slowly. It usually takes some time to realize you're actually codependent. When I first found out about this, that was 2009. It was so scary to realize, wait a minute, I cannot do anything without her. Now that she's gone, I realized that. And it took me another 6 months to realize, oh, that's called codependency. Before you do anything else, do yourself a favor, read my book, the codependency section, so you can start working on it. Because if you want to do anything with her, with codependency, it's going to be pretty much impossible. You need to win yourself back first. Next thing is the concept of being weak versus being nice. What do most guys do? Let me give you some examples. When I talk to guys, they say, yeah, man, she said I can sleep on the couch. And I said yes because I wanted to give her space. This is 9 years marriage. She yells at me on the phone about kids, but I listen because I don't want to hang up on her. It will cause friction. When she wants to vent, she calls me and I listen to her. Even if I'm at work, I put my hands free and I listen to her. I drive a truck, so I don't really mind. I dropped the kids to her and I was going out. Later, she called me and said she was bringing them back because she couldn't handle them. I picked her up and dropped her at the airport. It was a pain in the ass, but I did it anyways because I love her and I want her to know I care. She didn't even text me when she landed. I called and she said I need to give her space. I only tell her what she wants to hear because I don't want to have any fights with her. When you go out of your way, when you bribe her so she give you love and attention and things like that, it will just backfire. You can never bribe her into wanting you back. You can never do things that you don't want to do, go out of your way, put up with her bad behavior, just because you want her to like you and maybe one day she give you another chance. And that's a big mistake that most guys make. What you really need to learn is to go through the frictions, and that's another thing that I teach you in my book. The link is in the description, make sure you read it right now. And listen, man, frictions are not bad. That's just a part of it. If you try to run away from it, it's like you try to run away from traffic. It's gonna happen sometimes. So you have to know how to go through it instead of trying to run away from it. Now I got a message from Jacob. He says, how can I break no contact with my ex without sending the wrong message? Apparently they're going through a divorce. She hasn't filed it, but she says she's going to file. And they were on no contact now. He says, how can I do it without sending the wrong message? Look, if you don't know what to do, that is your problem. That is a problem because, dude, you are a guy who is responsible for this relationship, for this family. If you cannot decide what to do, that is a problem because she needs you to decide. She needs you to lead. If you come and ask a question like that in the middle of after 6 years of marriage and you're about to get divorced, that is a problem because there are leader guys and follower guys. Now, it's okay if you're not a leader guy, but if you're a follower guy, you need step-by-step roadmap ahead of you to follow. Because if you want to go through this without a plan, dude, you're screwed. You need to know exactly what to do. For you to know what to do, yes, you need a blueprint, which is in the book, which you should get it, it's in the description. And also you need to know why she's acting this way. So you can calibrate fast and do the right thing. You need to understand how you feel, why you feel this, why you have this anxiety, why you have this tension. When you have those bad thoughts, for example, what if she goes with somebody else and you immediately have this wave of anxiety and sadness? You need to know what to do with that to be able to decide. If you don't know what to do with those emotions, you know there's a lot coming your way. It's a very difficult thing to go through a divorce when it's not your choice. So if you still don't know how to initiate contact after not talking to her for a few days, you need to get all the help in the world that you can to understand your emotions, to understand the path ahead of you, to understand what are the stages of breakup and divorce so you can turn things around. Otherwise, it's like you're driving with your eyes closed. So go ahead and download my book. The link is in the description. The next question, Michael says, is there still a chance with my ex after she said we'll never get back together again? Yes, there is, because there was a day that she told you she's gonna be with you forever, and she changed her mind, and now she says she doesn't want to be with you ever again. This also is going to change. Everything depends on you. Like always, the first thing you need to do is you need to control yourself, your emotions, so you don't get affected by this, because these punches are coming, man. These punches are always coming. These punches from relationships and breakups, they don't stop. And if you want to be able to do the right thing, you need to be able to manage yourself, manage your emotions, then manage the relationship. Which is the same thing about rebound as well. Is it possible to get her back after a rebound? Of course it is possible. But how strong are you emotionally? If your wife or girlfriend went and fucked somebody else, sometimes I talk to guys in the program and it says, she came back and now she's here, but I can't really look at her like that anymore because I know every time I look at her, I think about the other guy who had sex with her 2 months ago. Every case is different. The power is in how you can control yourself and your emotions. Once that is out of the way, which is the first thing that I teach you in the book, then we can talk about the outer game, the text messages, how you could communicate with her and how you could rebuild attraction and trust. But everything starts with the man in the mirror. The next thing is, should I stop posting stories on social media or not? Another thing that is very, very relative. It depends on your situation, depends on the girl, depends on the breakup, depends on how you are. If you want to just post stuff to show off, it will only piss her off only more. If you want to post because you've always been posting and that's your job, I don't know, you go hiking, you always post photos, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you suddenly change the frequency and start posting too much, start doing something unusual, she knows you're doing it just to get her attention. So don't change the frequency of what you were doing before. Also, it depends on her. And you might make a post and piss her off, push her away even further. You might make a post that is targeted towards her, like these stupid memes about relationship, whatever. Or if somebody loves you, they don't leave you, some things like that, start to beg for love and start to act like a girl, and she sees that and she will resent you even more. So make posts if it's something that you always did and if it's not related to relationship. Very simple. Do not change the frequency of your posts either. And final question, when my ex contacts me after no contact, how should I respond? Which I already talked about it. If you want to know what to do when she contacts you, there is a roadmap, there's a framework for that. If you don't know how to respond to your ex that you had a relationship with, or maybe you've been married with and now you're confused, do the unit coaching, because she needs to look at you and see he understands, he knows exactly what he's doing. There's a way to be non-reactive, there's a way to be positive, there's a way to be not too eager, but at the same time not too cold. There is a way to do this. This is just like driving a car. You need to know how to navigate through this breakup and divorce. If you want me to help you with that, before you do anything else, read my book. The link is in the description. This is Ben. Don't worry, I'm going to help you get this woman back. See you in the next video. Now go ahead, download the book, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.